Hey guys, Daniel here. This is another video, and in this video I'll actually be reviewing a super amazing comic called This Land. For those who don't know, This Land, I believe it's a new enough comic. I think issues 1 and 2 are out now. Issues 3, 4 and 5 are being kickstarted. Speaking of which, if you'd like to go check out the Kickstarter, I would highly recommend it. There'll be a link for it down in the description. But I absolutely love this comic. I was actually lucky enough to receive it from Mark Abnett. He let me read it. He let me read issues 1 to 5, and I absolutely loved it. It's just brilliant. There's so many different things I loved about it, and I'm so excited to be able to talk about it. So, for those who don't know, it's basically kind of a fantasy comic. But yeah, like I said, Kickstarter will be down in the description if you'd like to find out more. Basically, it's a fantasy comic. When he told me about it, he gave me this elevator pitch. I think Moana Meets The X-Men. What if you had the power of a god, and what if the gods wanted it back? Which is just like, that's a badass idea in itself. But basically, the plot is, and as you can see, I'm sure you can see, I'm immensely professional. So I have my sheets here, just to write it down, because I have a horrible memory, so I have it on a sheet so I can memorize it. But yeah, no. So basically, our main character is Helna. That's Hell, like little. These are all actually New Zealand names, and it does deal a lot with New Zealand mythology. So which is great because it's a brilliant concept, but it's horrible for me because I'm bad enough at pronouncing names as it is. Like you can give me you can give me like the name John Smith, and I'll pronounce it wrong. That's how bad I am. So yeah, this book is just gonna be probably 15 minutes of me. This review is gonna be 15 minutes of me messing up pronunciations. But yeah, no. So basically, Helena is our main character. She's an Axeland woman who must assemble a ragtag group of mercenaries and escort a vessel of the Maori god Tane through a new world in search of the demigod Maui. So see, that's some more brilliant skills by me. I didn't even mess up anything. It just happens when you're so professional like me. But of course, it's a really brilliant idea. And like I said, it's kind of a fantasy comic. It's set in the near future where the moon kind of split in half and everything just sucks butt cheek. I've noticed I've said sucks butt cheek in my videos a lot recently, which it's probably not the best thing for me to say in a very professional comic book review, but here we are. But no, the world feels very built, and it's kind of set in the future. And Axeland is kind of like they rebuilt this city and they named it Axeland. But it's brilliant. There's so many different things I'd like to discuss, and it feels like we've barely even scratched the surface of this world. Images should be popping up throughout the video, but so many different things I want to discuss, and like, so many different characters that I want to discuss. So without further ado, let me get straight into it. So our first character is Helna. Helna, like I said, she's our main character. She's a red Axeland woman. But it's up to her and Tane to go find this demigod Maui. I'm not sure if I'm pronounced that right. Basically, my cousins love Moana, so I can just say that to research for upcoming videos. And Tane is, of course, the god who comes in search of the Maori god Maui. And like he's obviously part of the seven, but they work together, and then they have to go build a team to help find him because they can't do it by themselves. And so then they go to this pub, and they're like, well, one of them goes to the pub and like they talk to the bartender. He's like, okay, go sit in the back, and I'll send people through. It's kind of like a bar where all these, I suppose you could say, smugglers or criminal activity meet up. But so I'll introduce you to the team. So first off, this is my favorite member, Mir. He's just so pretentious. He's an energy channeler, Panamu welder, addict, all ego. He draws his power from the 10th Panamu through forged armor plates of the ancient stone. He channels energy that is not his own. That rhyme there. Like I said, I can't even read my own writing. I'm that bad, and the pronunciation is all over the place. But he's just so pretentious. He's always making these, like, he thinks he's so great, and he's just my favorite character. And like I said, you really get caught up into this comic and the characters. Like images of Mir should be popping up throughout the video. And so then, yeah, Mir's a great character. He has this kind of green cool costume, which is just friggin' badass. And he has these cool little like decals or like little designs that go around. And of course, another character is Rana or Rana, depending on how you, like I said, some more of my horrible pronunciations. But Rana is kind of like this white figure, wall crawler, night stalker, a superiority complex. Knows Kung Fu, a mystery of the White Tomb tribe, where walking on walls is common and are gifted to finding the right path, but what if one of them decides to walk the other way? See, that's a brilliant there. But Rana was also a really cool character. Like, they appeared in some of the greatest bits of the comic, which I'm trying not to spoil, but there's so many things I want to get into that I can't talk about too much because they're obviously spoiler heavy. But another character is Pania, a Tokyo Karuoa, axe wielder, strategic mastermind, fights to relax, loner whose motivations remain a mystery. Don't let size fool you, she could be the strongest of them all. But of course she's another character. And like I think it's a very like set team, and like the pictures of the team should be popping up. but each character was very likable, and they all got their own moment. I think the greatest thing about this comic that really held it together was the world building. Like I touched on a little bit, because it feels so wild, and like you could definitely see this in like a film or sort of TV show, because it's Lord of the Rings esque, I suppose, because it's just so large with all these different tribes and different characters. There's actually a map, which should be popping up now. But a map does appear, just so you can get a good grasp of it. This comic's actually published by Aroha Comics. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. Go follow them on Twitter. I'm not sure what their at is. It'll probably be down in the description. And yet there's a website where you can go check out some of the pages, and pages should be popping up. I'm only going to share pages that have actually been out publicly. I'm not going to, share any pages that haven't been shared. Yeah, but then of course it's another part of the team is Moa and Tui, children of Tane, metamorphs, father struggling to keep control, and daughter imprisoned in her own body, stronger together, and then of course broken together. But yeah, no, those were also cool characters, because one of them was like a little fairy, and then this other dude is, big as chalk and cheese. That's an Irish saying. I only found out. I actually interviewed the director, and he said he's an Irish fellow. We were having a good laugh, and he said chalk and cheese. I was like, man, that's an awesome saying, chalk and cheese. It means like polar opposites. So for all my millions of fans, that's a new saying you can use in your everyday life, chalk and cheese. But yeah, no, of course them. And now here's another character which I absolutely adore. He's brilliant. It's called Beach. Beach is kind of like he's just a sand figure, like images should be popping up. Sand manipulation, weapon forger, losing a piece of himself at a time. His story is a mystery. Every time he replaces a grain, he wonders if there's anything original left, which, like I said, does suck butt cheek, because that's probably not such a nice feeling. And of course, and then there's some more like that. Well, I won't really say baddies. The baddies. I can't believe I'm such an. I didn't know what their team name was. There's like an alternate version of all of them where they're all these evil type versions. And I kid you not, I wrote baddies on the sheet because I didn't know what they were called, just to show some more professionalism. You can see it just there. I literally wrote the word baddies because I just didn't know what to call them. So the baddies are Kierana. She's a shepherd tracker, finder of lost things. Cowboy hat, and she has like this cowboy hat and a mask, which is brilliant. And she's been like this sniper, I suppose you could say, but they are basically paid to go find him. And Kahoku is like, he's cursed, he's a creature of dead things, plant manipulation, and of course, Karlakada is an insectoid. He's like this weird big cockroach that just goes around shooting things. His flight, interspecies communication, he's like I said, broke creature. Duster is a Panamu huffer, healing factor, wire 24/7, and Matapera thinks he's the demigod, really is just a big salty fish. And I'm not paraphrasing there, he actually said he's just a big salty fish. That's the type of highbrow writing you're getting on when you're messing around. And another character is of course Vox Populi Rio Nuinga. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy for sure. Voice of the Tanua. Red. He has this really cool red blackish design. You can actually see him at the top of issue 2. Decals, and he's the keeper of this mystical dragon. Tanua is just this mystical dragon. I can tell you probably think I'm having a stroke because I'm not making any sense. I swear there's context to this, but I don't think I actually credited the creative team. But alright, so the comic's actually written by Mark Abnett, like I said. The art is brilliant. It's by P.R. Dedelis, or Dedelis, sorry if I'm not pronounced that right. Like I said, pronunciation, never been my strong suit. But the colours are by Liezl Buenaventura. The colours in this book were brilliant. I especially love how there's characters like Rana, who's just completely white, and then she did a great job actually colouring it in and making it look different, which is something I have a huge amount of respect for. Letters actually by Hassan Otsmane Elhaou, who I've probably reviewed like a million of his comics, because he's done so many different comics. But he does the letters. The designer of Beach, the sand character, is Craig Petersen, and then of course there's covers by artists such as Chris Connelly, Zac Howard, Michel Mulipola, LeoArtBro, I think, and Goran Parlov. So just to name a few there. But no, of course, it was really brilliant. There were so many different things I loved. Like I said, the world feel built, great characters, and there was obviously a great dynamic that went with each character, and like you very quickly felt as if they knew each other, And I believe that there was one very smart panel where it's like, okay, 2 days walking, 3 days, 4 days, and you could see them interact with each other slowly, which was some genius writing there. But I really like that, and like it's so fast. It goes from strength to strength, and we're slowly finding out new things. And like I can't recommend this comic enough. If you're looking for something like if you want to get stuck into this whole new world and feel like you're in a new world, then I would definitely recommend this comic, because it played with that aspect so well, which is what I love. Because this is one of the best comics I've probably read in recent time. Because, like I said, it plays with a lot of things and a lot of different characters. Like, you just saw all of the characters I talked about there, and you're probably confused for half of them. Like, you know, who are these? But I promise if you read the book, there will be more clarity. So, like I said, go check out the Kickstarter for it. There'll be a link down in the description. But, you know, there's, like, so many different people in this book, and all feel packed in, and it works so well. And, like, it's not overcrowded, because it takes time with each character, and you can kind of find out more. My favorite character was Mir, like I said, that really cool green guy. I'm not too sure what happened with Zen. I think I'll get to the main idea, but I might have to message Mark and ask him what happened to Mir. But of course, the book is very smart. Like, it's thought out, like especially with the map, which I was talking about earlier. Like, obviously there was a lot of thought that went into this, which I respect immensely, because that does take a lot of work. And so it's really smart how they decided, okay, you know what, we'll do this, we'll fit this in. And I can only imagine how long it actually took them to make it. But no matter how long, I really did love this comic. I highly recommend it. Like, the characters were very likable, and some of the action pages were fantastic. The art by P.R. Dedelis was just fantastic, and it worked so well with Mark's writing, and I hope they work together on some more comics soon. Of course, letters by Hassan Otsmane Elhaou, brilliant as always. The colours were, like I said, colours were probably the highlight of the comic, because it's a very colour-centric comic. There's some parts that happen that, you know, I don't think they would have looked as good just black and white. Like in issue 2, we're introduced to this mystical character with a lot of light sources, and I think the colours really came through there. Like I said, some of the covers or just art for it were brilliant, and I really did love this comic. Like I said, if you'd like to go find out more, I highly recommend you do so. There'll be a few links in the description so you can find out more yourself. But you know, I really did love this comic, and there were just so many different things I liked about it. And like, the team aspect is probably the one thing I love the most, and how it deals with a lot of real things, you know, such as friendship, trust, sacrifice, and all these different types of things all fit into this one fantasy comic. And I just love it so much, and I can't wait to see it go on in the future. I wonder if they'll do more things within this world, because, like I said, the world feels so big that you could literally do a spin-off comic about any character, and it would still be super interesting. And like I said, and it also deals a lot with New Zealand mythology and like New Zealand language, I suppose, because at the start you just like, here's a link, you can go find out if any of the words are confusing you, which is brilliant, because it's like, if someone in Ireland wrote a comic in Irish, I still wouldn't understand it, okay, because I'm horrible at Irish. I can say, can I go to the toilet? I can also say jumper. I believe I can say shoes. I can say bacon. And yeah, that's just about all the things I can say in Irish, besides a few bits and bobs. I can probably speak more, after reading this comic, I'm sure I can speak more of this than I can of Irish, so have that going for me. But no, of course, I'd highly recommend it. It's such a smart and well thought out comic. And like I said, I'm not sure where you can pick it up. I believe, make sure to go check out Aroha Comics. I believe Mark has actually also done a few other comics which I'd love to read, so make sure to go check those out as well. But yeah, no, so I absolutely love this comic. So many different characters. If you do read it, let me know what you thought. Speaking of which, if you'd like to go follow me on Twitter, I'm at SamboGizmo1. But yeah, that's just about concludes my review. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. But before I finish up, if possible, I would really appreciate if anyone could donate to the National Deaf Children's Society. There'll be a link for that in the description. But like I said, that would mean the world to me. But yeah, no, I would really recommend that you pick this comic up. If you're looking for something fun to read, then this book has you covered. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe, and please make sure to like and subscribe if you could even just do that. That would mean the world to me. But yeah, so I hope this review wasn't just too much of me waffling. All things considered, I absolutely love this comic, and like you probably see pages popping up every now and again. But yeah, there were just so many different things I loved about it. But yeah, no, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well with COVID. And yeah, no, make sure to pick this up. This Land issue 2 is out now. And make sure to go check out the creative team. Just one more walkthrough. It's Mark Abnett, writer. P.R. Dedelis, artist. Liezl Buenaventura, colorist. Hassan Otsmane Elhaou, letterist. Craig Petersen, he designed Beach. Covers by Chris Connelly, Zac Howard, Michel Mulipola, LeoArtBro, and Goran Parlov. I'll credit everyone down in the description. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe. Bye.